Okay, welcome back. And yes, Assalamu alaikum. Goeie Itaola. Even awareness? Aware?
I'm good. Are you?
This is the man. This is my man. My producer, Selaelo Makhwidiri, SM Digital. Selaelo Makhwidiri
come
Digital. Oh, yeah.
Story for
Look
another
at me
day.
now. Oh,
Story
like
for
Mr.
another day.
Miyagi. Awesome stuff. Well,
Yeah.
guys, it's a football segment. We're discussing the Euros, man. There's so much been happening. Lots of friendly games, but now nobody's going to be friendly.
Definitely.
Definitely, it's not going to be an annihilation. It's going to be now the strength of the strongest, the fastest who are going to live the longest, and the poachers who are going to obviously poach and be preached, or else they're going to be disrespected. But now, having said that, so many things I want to talk about tonight's cracker.
Sure.
Turkey versus Italy. Looking at the lineup here earlier on, as I was looking at this match, very interesting. Obviously, Roberto Mancini managing the Italian side.
Yeah.
We've still seen Calhanoglu, number 10, still holding that number for the Turkish squad. Soyuncu at the back. I mean, he's shown his pedigree in the Premier League. But then we move to the Italian squad.
Yeah.
Ciro Immobile,
I think
Jorginho, Mancini, who's obviously got pedigree of managerial skill, and then the back line. Cellini on Bono, do they ever get tired? I mean, do these two, like, when am I going to... It's like this is like the Maldini of the now.
Yeah.
These are like the Maldinis of today, you know, Cannavaro's. It's fantastic to see these two. Leonardo Bonucci, you know, that my man, when you watch Juventus and you watch them play in Serie A, that back line and that bald head, you know, like, man, this guy, like, he's a wall. What do you think? I mean, they're playing an interesting 4-3-3, Italy, against a 4-1-4-1. What you making of this match tonight? And guys, we're coming to you live from our headquarters right here in Johannesburg. You can comment below. We're doing some, not the 202 Sadek. It is not a BMW 202 or a C-Class. We are talking the 2020 Euro. Anyway, guys, we want you to comment below. Send me your feedback. You know, what are your expectations for tonight's match if you are going to be watching it? And also, which groups are you following? Because we've seen De Bruyne out.
Yeah.
I think it's due to a bit of fatigue because that man, I think, really played well in the Premier League. But also, the Oranje. There's so much to cover. Let's just talk about Italy and Turkey tonight.
Yeah, I think you mentioned there that, you know, Italy's defense is, you know, made up of really, how can I put it, mature, you know, gentlemen, you know, in Chiellini and Bonucci. I think they've seen it all, you know, from UEFA Champions League finals to World Cups and you know, you name it, they've been there. And I think for the longest time in world football, you know, Italy was always renowned for their defense, you know, and how resolute and how hard it is. But I think now you can also like commend their forwards. I mean, the likes of Insigne, Immobile, you know, PSG, really, really good. Turkey, their formation, you know, is mentioned for 1-4-1.
But now, Yilmaz, let's not undermine what those two can do when Soyuncu, Tufan, Yilmaz, Calhanoglu, I mean, and then we're looking at the bench.
Yeah. So Sote, I think the 4-1-4-1, they know they're probably not as quick and not as aggressive as the Italians would be. So what can you do in that situation? You flood the middle field and make sure that your back line is also strong. And who knows, maybe, you know, Turkey might be able to swallow the pressure, and then catch them on a break, because Italy will be coming to the game so confident and thinking, you know, they on record as opposed to win this.
Very interesting. I mean, obviously with the Italians and obviously with Serie A and the Inter Milan lineup.
Yeah.
And obviously them clinching Serie A. But how many of the I mean, we see Jorginho in the number 8.
Yeah.
How many of the Inter team do we actually see here?
I think this is an interesting Italian team, because for the longest time, I think in days gone by, we always knew an AC Milan
and Inter Milan dominating.
When they're dominating, they don't make the bulk of the Italian
national
squad. You know, the same way how in Spain, when Barcelona and Real Madrid are some of their game, 90% of players come from both teams.
Correct.
So I think this one, this is like a culmination of Juventus's.
Well, I mean, we see a bit of obviously
on
Napoli, Lazio, but I'm not seeing much about Inter. And I mean, obviously these two, the Juve backline. but we're not seeing an Inter. And
I think because of Juventus's domination for the longest years,
For the last
the national team has been built around those players. So, it only makes sense that, you can't just all of a sudden drop the core of the team that you have and just say, okay, the Inter Milan players are there and let's just hoy them all in there. No, you've been having Juventus dominating. Now, go with the player.
We've got Donnarumma at the keeper. This man is like, the next Buffon in my book.
Definitely. I think,
although he's still quite young, got a lot of years in him.
Yeah.
He's got obviously, the reflexes. We've seen him in the Serie A league.
Yeah.
What's your score prediction on tonight's first match? Obviously, Turkey versus Italy in the Euro. It's 2020, but 2021.
Yeah.
Very odd. Even the Olympics going to be coming up.
Schematics.
Man.
It's weird. Crazy, yeah, we all know. I think, you spoke about Donnarumma. He's been an understudy to Gigi Buffon for so long. So I probably think, that experience and being the number 2 for the longest time, it's one of the greatest goalkeepers ever. I think Iker Casillas fans might beg to differ.
The only thing I feel bad for him is that, obviously Champions League, man.
Yeah. It's just one of those things.
It's like Van Nistelrooy not getting a Champions League either. But anyway.
It's like Lionel Messi not winning the World Cup.
Oh, well.
It's just one of those things. But in this game, I think, the Italians, would like to, reintroduce themselves as a force to be reckoned with.
Have you seen in the UEFA Nations League?
Yeah.
How Turkey, how well they've played.
Exactly.
Where they ended up.
Yeah.
We shouldn't undermine what they can do. And they've also got pace and they've got stamina. We know the Italians have obviously got a lot of stamina as well.
A lot of strength, also physical.
Agility. Yeah. Your score prediction on tonight's opener?
I see the Italians winning this one by 2-0. I think they want to introduce themselves as a force to be reckoned with in world football. I think for the longest time,
because since 2006 and 2008, we haven't seen much of them.
We haven't seen much of the Italians.
After the Zidane incident,
and George Comandarakis.
It was,
we've always known that the Italians have a good league, they have good players, but they've been going through a season. But I think they would like to reintroduce themselves to world football.
Now, something interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Belgium. Tomorrow they're playing Wales and Switzerland.
Can I just say that I'm a huge Belgian fan?
Okay, I am too. But also, the Oranje have always been for the longest while. I just feel so sad for them that they haven't ever won a World Cup. 2010, I think the Oranje deserve to win it. Wesley Sneijder, Robin van Persie, Ian Robben.
Mentioning 2010, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah.
Today's the 11th of June.
I know, man.
An anniversary
man.
of the World Cup.
Can you believe it? Where? Man, I was 21 on this day. And, I don't want to say where I was, what level I was on. But hey, if you know, you know. Now, looking at obviously Belgium.
Yeah.
And the Belgian squad, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to highlight obviously Roberto Martinez.
Yeah.
And the stellar job he's done. But over the last, let's say, since the Germany World Cup, we've seen the Belgian players come in from Club Brugge. They've come into the French league.
Yeah.
They've come into the Serie A. They've come in and dominated the Premier League.
Definitely.
If we're looking at Belgium, my man, let's not even go further than obviously this year. We're looking at players like Hazard, who hasn't really shown his muscle at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
However,
a
mistake that Man United made, I feel, guys, I know I'm going to get the bullet for this. Romelu Lukaku, my man, have you seen his form at Inter? I think
I concur with you 100%. I think Manchester United was not patient with him, number one, and number two, they couldn't adapt their style of play around him. He's not the quickest of players,
but he's got the strength and the agility.
Exactly. He knows how to hold defenders. So
you've seen the interplay was Christian Eriksen, and we've seen Alexis Sanchez thrive under Conte.
Yeah, he's one player that's not the most creative in the world, but you give him the ball. Harry Kane type of player.
He's going to find the back of the net.
They're the same kind of player.
Yeah.
They're not the fastest.
They're not
the most skillful. But give him the ball, give him the net.
Look, they're not a Gundogan or anything. For that day, we look at obviously none other than Kevin De Bruyne for creativity.
The best
that man
in the world
is
right
like
now.
a magnet. If he sees Selaelo on that left wing, that ball's going to find you.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking at the Belgian lineup, I mean, obviously at the back line, we know we've got Vertonghen. I mean, we've got fantastic players. However, Leandro Trossard is something interesting because he was obviously in the Premier League, still is, but not having the best of times at his current club. I mean,
I think one of the most amazing things about Belgian football that I think maybe a few countries can take a page out of the book is they build their national team, and they sometimes really don't care about a player's domestic season or how they're playing. But as long as they're delivering in the national team, you get to keep your place. I mean, Jan Vertonghen is a perfect example.
Exactly.
Hasn't been doing well. He's been relegated to the bench. Hazard also, not doing very well. Axel Witsel spent a few months out with injury at Dortmund. He recently made a comeback. So it's just knowing that we have a core of players that we know when it comes to the national team, they are bound to deliver. I mean, it's been 3 years. Belgium has been the number 1 country in the world according to
now these two, Adnan Januzaj, moved to obviously Spain. Bentek is still at obviously Palace.
Yeah.
Once these two players were rated among the world's best wingers and the next best promising players.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know Marwan Fellaini is no longer in the picture.
Yeah.
However, we've got Yuri Tillemans from Leicester.
Brilliant player.
Oh, awesome.
Brilliant player.
We know Januzaj has got the trickery, the fancy footwork, and the pace. Robert,
you have Chadley in the mix also, yeah.
Roberto Martinez. I mean, he's obviously gelled the squad for the last 5 years or so. 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, four.
And it's amazing how they're interplaying in the World Cup. Russia,
when they beat Brazil.
I mean, I thought they were going to take the. I mean, they look like forerunners for next year. They are a force to contend with, right? However, on the other hand, I've got who I have here, all right? The Oranje. Now, Netherlands.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Quincy Promes, and many other players. I mean, you've got Virgil van Dijk, who sacrificed his appearance for Euro to obviously stay fit for obviously the Liverpool club football, which he was obviously injured for a long time. It's sad to see that.
I think for
and as a captain
for the Netherlands, coming to the team without Virgil van Dijk.
You think they are reliant on him in the back line?
I think Van Dijk gives you more than just play.
Does he bring that Iron Robin characteristic to what the previous Netherlands were?
He's that player that, with his presence in the team, doesn't matter how well or bad he's playing, other players just appreciate his presence, It makes them feel a bit more comfortable to express themselves. I mean, we've seen it with Liverpool, how they play. They were more fluid going forward. They were able to take more risks because, if we lose the ball, he's there at the back. So I think it's going to have a huge impact, and they're playing against the Ukraine, which is really
exactly. Now this is the thing, right? Now I mean, you've got to inform City side. I mean, all their players, wherever they are right now,
they are the best. They are in the world. I mean,
unfortunately, look, Champions League guys. I don't know.
That's a story for another day.
But I personally felt City deserves to win.
Yeah.
Irrespective. However, now the big one.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Oh, I'm gonna be hungry.
Yes.
I'm gonna be having
some
soul fire. I'm gonna have some soul. Not in Seoul.
Yeah.
But anyway, France, Germany, the World Cup champions.
Yeah.
The world champions at the moment.
Against the 2014 champions. They actually dethroned Germany to be champions.
I know obviously Germany have got pedigree, but France, over the last at least 6 years, they've grown depth.
You've
got the likes of obviously, your Pogba's.
Yeah.
You've got Martial. You've got Mbappe. I mean, the list goes on and on. The team doesn't tire. Obviously, a former great managing the team for France.
Yeah.
What do you think Tuesday's lineup is going to be here? I mean, this is going to be fantastic.
I think France. I was actually watching them. I just forgot they were playing. I think Bulgaria.
It was the friendly. Yes,
I guess Bulgaria where they won like 4-0.
Yeah.
That match for me, and then I watched other teams play. Obviously,
a whole lot of friendlies.
Yeah, the likes of Portugal and them. And I watched how they play. I mean, with Pogba marshalling the middle field, and
Now this is the thing. In the national team, the team plays around him.
around him.
But
yeah.
what happens at Manchester? I don't know. I don't understand.
That's the thing, you know, when
He thrives in world football, and at the World Cup he shows his best.
he's, you know, when he gets on his gallop and his confidence
Yes.
and he's
And at
striding
long
those
strides.
long legs.
Exactly.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening in France. I think they just gave him that role to say, you decide where you want to take the ball, because even in that game, I guess, where they won 4-0, he was just throwing the passes. You know, Mbappe, you want the ball, I'll give it to you. You know, he was,
and you can see the oozing of confidence.
You know, when he strides, and you can tell he doesn't walk around with his shoulders
Having
down.
said that, I mean, you got Rafael Varane at the back,
Brilliant.
28 years old. There's talk he might come to Manchester United. We're not going to talk about transfer talk. We're talking Europe.
Manchester United just wants every player.
Well, I mean,
available.
right now, I mean, Manchester United probably going to take the league.
Okay.
But anyway,
Won't mark your words.
Tuesday's match is going to be a cracker.
Yeah.
Thereafter, I was looking at some of the predictions, right, and some of the pundits in the build-up. However, Gareth Southgate and the whole England squad.
Can I just say before you go forward?
Yeah.
I think the English team that Gareth has right now is probably one of the best they've had in a very long time.
Yes.
I think you have players that are young, number one, that are hungry, and again, same way as Italy.
I mean, you got them sad to see obviously Greenwood.
Yeah.
But you've got to inform Rashford, Kane, Sterling.
Foden.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
So, you know, even at the back, you know, you have
I was going to bring up the back line, the Maguires,
Kyle Walker.
Right. I mean, obviously, and then another
big headache. Another big headache. You know, I've always asked people about this. You know, you are Gareth Southgate. Who do you take as your left back?
And your right back.
Do you take Trent Alexander-Arnold or Kyle Walker? So it's
and I mean, you got to inform Luke Shaw as well.
Abundance of talent in the English national setup. I think them and France for me, Belgium.
What about Portugal now? I mean, because why I'm bringing up Portugal, right? We've seen Portugal's desire and hunger, and yes, they've won obviously the Euros before under Cristiano Ronaldo's mentorship and leadership. However, he's now coming into the likes of your Zlatans, into that Hall of Fame now, right?
I think 36-year-old.
Right now this is obviously his last, whatever the case is. But do you think Mbappe versus Ronaldo, who right now is the best player in the Euro tournament right now?
Foden.
Excuse me?
I'm not even gonna mince my words about it.
Really?
I don't.
I mean, what about Mbappe?
No. I'm sorry. I think Phil Foden is right up there.
Okay, I know you're wearing blue, and you might be on the blue side of the
No, trust me. This comes from no form of bias.
Yes.
Of any
I
kind.
mean, after this, we're gonna have a talk. I mean, before Adam Ford, my man, we're gonna have a talk.
The mood is blue. We love the mood blue, but I think Phil Foden. I mean, 21 years of age. Champions League, he was, it tells, man, league week in, week out, he does some of the most amazing things. You want him to be a playmaker, he gives you that. You want him to score goals, he gives you that. You want him to score the ball, he gives you that.
Not selfish play.
Exactly. And he's one of the most fittest players I've ever seen. Rarely gets injured, disciplined. I think
that shows now the depth of the City Academy.
Yeah, exactly. And he comes from there, hasn't been bought from anywhere. He's homegrown. So I think,
we are forgetting one team though.
Sure.
Croatia. Finalists in the Russia 2018 World Cup.
I also watched Croatia play.
They have slacked over I was wondering what happened in the last 3 years with that team.
Can I quickly just tell you
why? There's a lot going on.
They never brought in new young players. If you can check the bulk of Croatia's starting,
it's still
the same players that finished in the final in the last World Cup. So I think what they're doing is what they're not doing is what England is doing.
Or are they maybe replicating what Netherlands did post 2010, where they did not bring young players, and then after
the Netherlands
now with young players like Quincy Promes, and then you've got Memphis and many other players coming in with young, fresh blood. replacing that Iron Robbins, Wesley Sneijder's. You think Croatia is replicating that mistake that that Netherlands did?
Exactly.
2010?
Definitely. I think, when world football is so quick and it's so fast, and the ages of young players is just getting younger and younger and younger by the day. I mean, you have 19-year-olds and 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds being considered the best in the world. So I think if you're going to play with, experience, cool.
Now,
you can't buy experience.
I know Zakir might be watching TD online. Maybe he's offline right now, but I'm going to steal his segment for a few minutes. Next week, I'm not going to be here. He's probably going to be. Portugal, Germany. I mean, let's just now. I mean, we before we go in for the next segment, we're gonna wrap up this soon. Look, Titans in European football.
Huge, yeah.
Germany, World Cup winners. Portugal, Euro winners. However, German disciplined football. You've seen them. They might have lost in the World Cups, and I mean, they're coming back with a vengeance. They want to maintain that sense of fury, that ferociousness, and that discipline. When you were looking at the likes of Ozil when he was coming to prominence back in 2006, when you see the likes of Gundogan, when we see the likes of Marco Reus, come to prominence. Are we going to see, Kai Havertz, Werner? I mean, the list is going on. I'm not going to even go into this squad lineup here with regards to Germany. But it's interesting to see how the German football has adapted over the years, seen their mistake from 2014, and obviously built up now towards where they are. Do you think they're gonna maybe make the quarterfinals, semifinals? Because looking at the tables,
I'm not convinced with Germany. Honestly, they also have like a bunch of young, really good players. But I think they're
inexperienced.
No, Kai Havertz, they've experienced. They've played in the highest, club football competition in the world, and they've won it.
Nationally, is this what you're saying?
Maybe, and also I think Germany has become predictable. Also, with how they play. I think teams are now able to plan around them. That's why we haven't seen after the World Cup, them going, on long and beaten streaks. I mean, they've won the World Cup and even got dethroned as the world's number one by Belgium. That's because there was no much consistency after.
No, but I think Belgium really are forced to be reckoned with. As you say, the Red Devils, as they call them. But anyway, Mr. Producer, awesome having you here. I'll get up with you in a few afterwards. Anyway, brings us to the end of obviously our coverage on the Euro 2020, 2021, if you may call. Italy taking on Turkey tonight. That's currently on. And inshallah, next week, if I'm not here, Zakir will be holding it down to discuss that. A lot of interesting games to be watched. And we'll be back in a few. I'm going to be speaking to Adam Ford about how not to get your car repossessed. And no, we are not doing an auction.